Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for joining us again in one of these videos of this journey that we are taking together to get to know more about the Qatari culture and Qatari tradition throughout the pages of its literature. This book is about a very special woman that lived here in Qatar, born and lived here in Qatar, called Abna Mahmoud Al-Jidda. The book is written by Dr. Bidra Mubarak Al-Amari, and it corresponds to the National Council of Culture and Arts. The book, we can say it mainly it's representing honor, and it's honoring Mrs. Amna Mahmoud Al-Jidda's life. She was born in 1913 and unfortunately passed away in 2000. She is one of the most representative women in teaching Islamic educations here in Qatar. And she's not only the part from the first generation of teachers here in Qatar, but also she is the first woman teacher here in Qatar. Since she was very little, she always had this ability to learn very fast, and people around her noticed that she was very, very smart, and this also willingness of her to know more about the Islamic culture and Islamic education, this passion that she had regarding these topics was one of the things that defined her as the important woman that she became, not only for the tradition but also for the education here in Qatar, and the movement of little by little accepting diversity in education, not only for men but also for women. She started teaching at 14 years old, like unprofessionally. She started teaching at 14 years old. She taught her aunt how to read the Holy Quran, and that's how she realized, and that's how she started to know that teaching was her passion. Married at 18 years old, she was married for 4 years. She had a daughter who unfortunately passed away when she was 3 years old, and she had a baby boy called Ali. After her divorce, she returned to her family house, and that's where she started properly to make plans for teaching and for education. It is curious how she started at the very, very beginning. She started teaching little girls and boys in their house, but without her father's permission. For example, in those moments, the woman had to ask for her father's permission to do something, or in the other case, to her husband. But since she was divorced, she had to ask for her father's permission. And she was going out of her house, going to teach children in their house by secret. At the end, when her father realized that what she was doing, he accepted it. And I think this is one of the most important parts about Abna Mahmoud Al-Jidda's life, that she, alhamdulillah, had the support of her family to continue what she was doing and to pursue this passion that she had for teaching. So she was taught by Al-Sheikh Mullah Hamad bin Ahmad bin Muhammad, and he was in those moments one of the most recognized teachers in the Quranic schools. One of the special characteristics that they mention in this book regarding Miss Amna is that she took only 3 years to memorize all the Holy Quran. One of the most important characteristics of Miss Amna Mahmoud Al-Jida is that she always represented education not only as writing or reading, teaching the boy how to write or to read, but she had this special method and she had this special belief that education was also coming from moral education, and that she wanted to teach values to the children. She wanted for children to also feel good and feel loved, and she was also taking care about that part of the children, which is giving them education on morality and values. In 1938, Ms. Amna Mahmoud Al-Jida opened her first school in her house. Why in her house? Because one of the conditions that the father gave her to be able to continue teaching was that the children would come home and not her to go to the home of the children, which at the end ended up becoming her own school in her house. This school, now we know it as a Quranic school, and she was very hardworking, and that's something also that we can read in this book, that she was very hardworking, and this passion for teaching was represented in how she was giving both morning shifts and afternoon shifts. So she never stopped. She was all days teaching, and she divided girls and boys. But also she was not one of the important characteristics of this school is that she was not only giving, and she was not only teaching children, but she was also teaching elder people. She was teaching people even maybe her age or older people, older women that didn't have the opportunity in those moments to go to a proper school, but she was teaching everybody. She didn't make differences between anyone, and regardless their age or their gender. Ms. Amna Mahmoud Al-Jida now is one of the most well-known women in the education sector in Qatar. Ms. Amna Al-Mahmoud Al-Jida is one of the most well-known women here in the education sector. But let's remember that it was not only her and her passion and her hard work, but it was also, alhamdulillah, the opportunity that her father gave her and the support that she got for her family to construct this. So this is how we can see that teamwork and the support of the people that are close to you, regardless if they are, regardless of their gender, of their age. When people get to work together, they can achieve good things. So we can say that was one of the first women here that helped and put put the basis to construct something for women here in Qatar, and to build a more bright future for the country. She also had the opportunity to travel to Lebanon, Egypt, and Europe, always very inspired and interested in the Quranic education. So in the book we can see some images of how with time these schools were focusing not only in reading and writing education, but she was also teaching children about history, culture, and a bit more about society here in Qatar, and the respect that she always claimed for the elderly people. So in the book you can find very interesting images of how this school made a big step for education here in Qatar. Thank you so much for joining us and hope to see you again.